In this video, we're going to be taking a look on pages PowerPoint 8 and 9, in which we're going to enter slide text. After watching this video, you should be able to enter slide text, change slide text. When you start a blank PowerPoint presentation, an empty slide appears in normal view. The title slide has two text placeholders, which we see right here. And these are boxes with dotted borders. And this is where you enter your text. The top text placeholder, which is right here, on the title slide is the title placeholder, and it's labeled "Click to Add Title." The bottom text placeholder on the title slide is the subtitle text placeholder, which is down here, and it's labeled "Click to Add Subtitle." To enter text in a placeholder, you click the placeholder and then type your text. After you enter text in a placeholder, the placeholder becomes a text object. And an object is any item on a slide that can be modified. Objects are the building blocks that make up a presentation slide. So now let's take a look at the steps on page PowerPoint 8. On step 1, it tells us that we need to move our mouse pointer over the title placeholder labeled "Click to Add Title" in the slide pane. And when we do that, we'll notice that the pointer changes to an I-beam pointer when you move the pointer over the placeholder. In PowerPoint, the pointer often changes shapes depending on the task you were trying to accomplish. And in this case, we're trying to accomplish typing in information into this slide. In step 2, it tells us that we want to click the title placeholder in the slide pane. Now we will notice that the insertion point, which is a blinking vertical line, indicates where your text appears when you type in the placeholder. A selection box with a dashed line border and sizing handles appears around the placeholder, indicating that it is selected and ready to accept text. When a placeholder or object is selected, you can change its shape or size by dragging one of the sizing handles. In step 3, we want to type in to this placeholder text box, we want to type in Canadian Railway Exploration Tour Series. So here we're going to type in Canadian Railway, and if you misspell it, that's okay, you can just delete it. So it's Canadian Railway Exploration Tour Series. Now one thing you'll notice is that PowerPoint wraps the text to a second line and then center aligns the text within the title placeholder, which is now a text object. Notice the text also appears on the slide thumbnail, which is over here, and we can see that over here, in the thumbnails pane. Now if you press a wrong key, you can always press backspace to erase the character, or you can just erase the entire thing as I showed you a little bit earlier and just begin again. In step 4, it tells us that we want to click the subtitle text placeholder in the slide pane, and that is here where it says "Click to Add Subtitle." And then in step 5, we want to type in "Presented by," and then press the Enter key. Now when we do that, we'll notice that the insertion point moves to the next line in the text object. It doesn't move us out of the text object, it moves us down to the next line. Then in step 6, it tells us that we want to type in Quest Specialty Tours and to press Enter. And then type in Adventure Tour Series and press Enter. And then to type in your name and press Enter. And then type in Tour Consultant. Now you'll probably notice that the AutoFit Options button, which is over here on the side right here, appears next to the text object. The AutoFit Options button on your screen indicates that PowerPoint has automatically decreased the font size of all the text in the text object so it fits inside the text object. So what we want to do is, on step 7, we want to click the AutoFit Options button. So when we click on this, we now have some options that are there, and it tells us we want to then click the Stop Fitting Text to this placeholder. And that's on the shortcut menu. And we'll notice that the text in the text object changes back to its original size and no longer fits inside the text object. Now, of course, a quick tip on here. You can always copy text on there if you want to copy it. You just need to select the text, click the Home tab, click the Copy button in the clipboard group, place the insertion point, and then click the Paste button in the clipboard group. So you can copy and paste just as you would in Word or any other program. In step 8, it tells us that in the subtitle text object, we want to put our I-beam pointer just to the right of Series. And that's after the Tour Adventure Series. And then it tells us that we want to drag left to select the entire line of text. Then we want to press our backspace key to delete it. And then to click outside of the text object in a blank area of the slide. Now the Adventure Tour Series line of text is deleted and the AutoFit Option button menu closes, which you will see here. Clicking a blank area of the slide deselects all selected objects on the slide. Next, on step 9, it tells us that we want to click on the Save button on the Quick Access toolbar, which is going to open up the Backstage view, and then we want to go through there and save our presentation. And you can save this to your computer, and if you want to save this to either your home directories or your My Documents, and I'll save this to my Documents, and we want to save this as PPT space A-QST. And once we have that, we want to click on Save, and we'll notice that the title up here in the title bar has changed as well. Now, of course, in Backstage View, you have the option of saving your presentation to your computer or your SkyDrive. Now, notice that PowerPoint automatically entered the title of the presentation as the file name in the Save As dialog box. Now, if we take a look on the bottom of page PowerPoint 9, it talks about saving fonts with your presentation. When you create a presentation, it uses the fonts that are installed on your computer. If you need to open the presentation on another computer, the fonts might look different if that computer has a different set of fonts. Now, to preserve the look of your presentation on any computer, you can save or embed the fonts in your presentation. And to do that, you have to first of all click on the File tab. So if we click on the File tab here, then we can go down and we can click on Options. And of course, this will bring up the PowerPoint options. And this is the PowerPoint options dialog box. Then we can click Save in the left pane that is over here. So we click on Save. And then we can click on the Embed Fonts in the File checkbox on there. So we can take a look on that, and we can just click on the Embed Fonts in File, which is down here. And if we click on that, we can embed the fonts in our file. And you click the Embed All Characters option button, which is right here, and click OK to close the dialog box. Then you can click Save on the Quick Access toolbar. And now the presentation will look the same on any computer that it opens on. Now, using this option, however, significantly increases the size of your presentation, so only use it when necessary. You can freely embed any true type or open type font that comes with Windows. You can embed any other TrueType fonts only if they have no license restrictions. And that concludes the information that is on pages PowerPoint 8 and 9. You're ready to move on to the next video in which we're going to add a new slide.